What's going on, everyone? Harris Rubenstein here for NFL Daily. The NFL Combine is currently underway, so I am going to take you through a full 7-round mock draft for the New England Patriots. They have the most picks of any team in this year's draft with 12, so we're going to go through each pick, give you a couple options that we were going to select, and then give you the player that we ended up choosing. Let's start with their first pick at number 32 overall. We use the FanSpeak mock draft simulator, so these are the guys that were on the board when I made the pick at 32. TJ Hockenson, the tight end from Iowa. Christian Wilkins from Clemson. The Devin Bush, the linebacker from Michigan. Very talented and definitely a position in need for the Patriots. Trayvon Mullen, the cornerback as well from Clemson. And then I threw a quarterback in there just to, I don't know, get the people going because everyone seems to think that this is the year they'll draft Brady's replacement. But no Brady replacement at 32. It is actually the Rob Gronkowski replacement. Yes, I ended up picking TJ Hockenson. The Patriots are desperate for help at the tight end position. They're looking for someone who can do both things as a tight end. They need someone who can block and someone who can catch. They don't need another blocker. They don't need a pure receiving tight end. They need someone who can do both. And the common theme for almost every single position that you'll end up seeing me draft here are versatile players who can do multiple things at a couple different spots. I think TJ Hockenson could be a really good player for them to replace Rob Gronkowski with. He's not the best receiver, but he's a damn good blocker, and he'll fill in very well at that backup tight end spot. And also, it'll give them another opportunity to cut Dwayne Allen, who currently has one of the top 5 highest cap hits on the whole team. Not what you're looking for with your tight end 2 being one of the most expensive players on your cap. So Hockenson could be a really good fit for the Patriots. What position should the Patriots draft in the first round? Should they go tight end? Should they go wide receiver even? Maybe they should go on the defensive line. It all depends on how free agency works out. But personally, I am going to go with the tight end position. Let's go to their second pick in the second round at number 56 overall. A couple different options here, including multiple wide receivers. N'Keal Harry from Arizona State, KELVIN Harmon, Deebo Samuel from NC State and South Carolina. Threw a corner in there, Sean Bunting, and then the top edge guy available, DeAndre Walker. I chose KELVIN Harmon, the wide receiver from NC State. Some people might be calling me crazy for picking him over N'Keal Harry. But remember, I am drafting for the New England Patriots. Go find me the last time that the Patriots have drafted a 6'4" monster wide receiver in the second round. It doesn't happen. Usually they draft guys like KELVIN Harmon, 6'3", 185, a guy with great hands that's a good route runner as well. He can block a little bit on the outside, but they're basically looking for athleticism and route running, and that is KELVIN Harmon's bread and butter. He'd be a great fit in the Patriots system. And remember, if Josh Gordon does come back, you could have Josh Gordon, KELVIN Harmon, Julian Edelman in the slot, and maybe you bring back Philip Dorsett or Cordero Patterson as a fourth wide receiver option. But I think KELVIN Harmon, right off the bat, will be an instant impact guy for the Patriots offense. Let's go to pick number 64 here, still in the second round. N'Keal Harry still on the board. Deebo Samuel, Dexter Lawrence. Yes, Dexter Lawrence from Clemson, still on the board with that red flag. He did get suspended for the College Football Championship with a drug. I don't want to say he took HGH or he took growth hormone. He got flagged for a unidentified drug in his system, and usually when that kind of stuff happens, the NFL just lets these dudes drop, and I think Lawrence will end up dropping. And he's actually who I ended up picking, because if he's on the board at 64, the Patriots should absolutely pick him. They shouldn't even blink. I don't care if they just lost their quote-unquote character coach. If Dexter Lawrence is on the board here, he would be an absolute steal and a very well-needed player at that D tackle spot as well. Malcolm Brown and Danny Shelton are both impending free agents for the Patriots, as is Trey Flowers, who commonly plays at the 5-tech D tackle spot. So personally, I think you'll see the Patriots take a defensive tackle at some point in the draft. The fact that Dexter Lawrence is on the board at 64 might be slightly unrealistic, but hell, we're doing a mock draft. He's on the board. I am absolutely going to take him at 64. I mentioned the Patriots had a lot of picks. I wasn't kidding. Here we are again at number 73 overall. A ton of picks in the top 100 for the Patriots. Couple options. Juan Thornhill, the safety from UVA. Christian Miller, the oft-injured edge from Alabama. Will Greer there, the quarterback obviously from West Virginia. Voshon Joseph, a very talented linebacker out of Florida. And then Elijah Holyfield, who did not run a great 40 today at the Combine. I'm going to take it might be a little bit of a reach, but I'm going to go with Christian Miller, the edge from Alabama, mostly because the Patriots love versatile edge rushers. Hell, they have two of them starting right now, both Dante Hightower and Kyle Van Noy. Christian Miller is right in that cloth. They are very similar players. I think he'd fit in right away at their edge spot. He'd certainly be more effective than an Adrian Claiborne or even an Adam Butler. I think Christian Miller could come in, give them a good speed rusher off the edge, and also with how well they've been able to coach up their linebackers to do multiple things, I think Christian Miller could also become a little bit better off the ball, maybe playing a little bit more in coverage, maybe doing a little bit more as well on the defensive line in terms of his versatility. But based off his size and the school he comes from, I think the Patriots are going to fall in love with Christian Miller as long as his health checks out. If you guys want to make some sweet cash, homie, on the NFL this year, there's only one place to do it, and that's with our sportsbook partner, BetDSI. Head to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code LIVE120 for a 120% deposit bonus. It is the best deal that you will find anywhere in the sports betting atmosphere. 120% deposit bonus is a stupid amount of money to give away for free. But hey, use BetDSI, and they will do that just for you. Let's go to pick number 97. Not out of the top 100 yet. Another pick for the Patriots here. A couple different options. Greer still on the board. You enter a Bobby Okereke, linebacker from Stanford. Michael Jordan, the guard from Georgia. Threw another tight end in there. Kahale Warring, from the tight end from San Diego State. I chose David Sills. Big time kind of upset that he was still on the board here. But at number 97, the Patriots have an opportunity to take, in my opinion, the most underrated player in this whole draft class. All this guy has done since he's moved to the wide receiver position. I know he plays for West Virginia. I know they're crazy passing offense, whatever. All he's done since he's gone to West Virginia is score touchdowns. That's all he's done. Double-digit touchdowns 2 years in a row. He didn't quite break the 1,000-yard marker this year, but he is one of the best red zone targets in college football coming out of the draft this year. He'd be a fantastic complement to the Patriots offense. Think of what he could do on the other side from a Josh Gordon or even next to a Julian Edelman. I'm not trying to say this just because, he's another white wide receiver, but he's basically Chris Hogan times about 50. So I would love to get David Sills on the Patriots. They've had a lot of issues, at least the last 2 years, with Gronk starting to decline. They've had a lot of issues scoring touchdowns in the red zone, and I think David Sills, the fifth at least, would be one of the best options you will find in this year's draft in terms of guys that could help them in the red zone. And also, a double dip at wide receiver will allow them to not spend crazy money on the open market and hopefully put an end to the silly rumors that the Patriots are going to trade for Odell Beckham Jr. Going to step a little bit outside the top 100. Yes, pick 101, because I know they can only have so many picks inside the top 100. They have to have a pick at number 101. Darrell Henderson, the running back from Memphis, he ran well today at the Combine. David Long Jr., a linebacker from West Virginia, another linebacker still on the board, Bobby Okereke. Clayton Thorson, the quarterback, still on the board from Northwestern. I would not touch him if I'm any team. And then Kahale Warring there, the tight end from South Dakota State. Excuse me, I misspoke before. I took Bobby Okereke mostly because versatility. Again, he's more of a special teamer. He can play a little box safety. He plays a little bit smaller. He's listed on Stanford's website at 6'2", 230. If you watch him and you've seen him at the Combine, he looks more to me at about 6 foot 220, which isn't a bad thing because those kinds of players are imperative for modern day defenses. Think about the Mark Barons, the Deion Buchanans, or even on the Patriots, the Patrick Chungs of the world. This could end up being your Patrick Chung replacement, an incredibly high IQ player, former team captain for Stanford. Where have we heard that before? The Patriots, oh yeah, they've drafted 3 former team captains that have come out of Stanford. I think Okereke is the next guy on that list. I don't think he's going to be a great player for the Patriots. I don't think he might end up even starting for them, but he'll be a good special teamer. He can fill in at multiple spots. They need depth in their back seven, and I think Okereke would bring them just that. Let's go to pick 134. A lot of talent still on the board. That's one of the best things I like about this draft. Just the talent just keeps on carrying through these rounds. Roddy Harrison, the running back from Oklahoma, unfortunately went down with a knee injury earlier in the year. Isaac Nauta, the tight end from Georgia. Ryan Finley, yes, I know people seem to think the Patriots love Ryan Finley, so I threw him up there for you guys. Chris Boyd, the corner from Texas. and then Chase Hansen, the linebacker from Utah. I already double dipped a wide receiver. I'm going to double dip a tight end. I'm taking Isaac Nauta, the tight end from Georgia. He's going to be a great backup tight end in the NFL. Great backup tight end. And at pick 134, that is a totally fine player to end up drafting. He's not the best receiver, but the dude can block. One of the best run blockers that we've had at the tight end position coming out of college in a long time, actually. And not to mention, we know the Patriots love that Georgia running game. They already drafted the best offensive lineman from that Georgia team, as well as maybe the best running back in Sony Michel. So they get Sony Michel, they get Isaiah Wynn back from injury this year, and now they add Isaac Nauta for a true bulldog-level running game. And also, like I mentioned before, TJ Hockenson, if they do draft Nauta, bye-bye Dwayne Allen and your absolutely awful cap hit. I think Nauta would be a very good replacement for him. Let's go to pick number 205. Pretty big jump here. No picks for the Patriots in the entirety of the 5th round. So here we are going to the 6th round at 205. Jonathan Ledbetter, Zach Bailey, Gardner Minshew, CeCe Jefferson, and Ed Alexander. I ended up going with Zach Bailey. Now, I know he's dealing with a broken leg. He missed time last year with it. But the reason I like him, and this word just keeps coming out of my mouth, versatility. That is what the Patriots have always tried to draft in almost every single position that they can find. And Zach Bailey might be the most versatile offensive lineman in this year's class. He has spent time with South Carolina at every single position on the offensive line except for center. Left tackle, left guard, and right tackle. He has spent time starting at for South Carolina. We know that the Patriots love to draft guys who can play both guard and tackle, i.e. last year, Isaiah Wynn. So I think Zach Bailey would be another good guy for them to break in. They do have a lot of guys on the depth part of their offensive line that is, how do I put this, are either A, really bad, or B, about to become free agents. So Trent Brown, we know, is about to hit the open market. Isaiah Wynn expected to replace him. But look at the guys that the Patriots have at their depth. Brian Schwenke is currently going to be a free agent. Cole Crossan is also going to set up to be what do they call it? Exclusive rights free agent. Adrian Waddle is going to be a free agent as well. He was only on a 1-year deal. So the Patriots really need to restock the back end of their offensive line, and I think Zach Bailey will allow them to do multiple things and allow them to stay versatile and stay flexible. Let's go to pick number 239, and this is where things start to get fun. We got 4 picks left. Yes, the Patriots have 4 picks in the 7th round this year. 4 picks. Let's start with our first one here, 239. Blake Cashman, Ugo Amadi, and Drew Tranquill is my pick at 239. The linebacker for Notre Dame. I said it. I think I've said it about 50 times now. I'm going to say it again. The reason the Patriots would take Tranquill, versatility. He played both safety and linebacker at Notre Dame. He was also a team captain for the Fighting Irish as well. I hate saying this and I hate applying these tags to players, but he literally is the perfect Patriot. He plays safety and linebacker and was a team captain at an academically viable college football school. That's a New England Patriot if I've ever heard one. And oh yeah, he also tore his ACL twice in college. You literally couldn't find a more perfect Patriot. He literally checks off every box like a damn resume. I'm taking Drew Tranquill if he's on the board there in the 7th round. Let's go to pick number 243. Blake Cashman and Ugo Amadi still on the board. Ryan Davis, the wide receiver from Auburn. Jordan Ta'amu from Ole Miss. And then Will Harris, the safety from Boston College. Fine. I did it. I folded. I drafted a quarterback. I took Jordan Ta'amu. Look, I don't really know what to make of him at this point. The kid can sling it. He really can. He threw for almost 4,000 yards last year for Ole Miss. There's just one problem. He doesn't really know where the ball is going whenever he throws it. He has a lot of potential. He really does. I think he could be a really fun quarterback to watch develop in the NFL. And also, I don't think Tom Brady's replacement is in this draft. Like, what? You're really going to expect Ryan Finley to take over the New England Patriots franchise? Really? Clayton Thorson? These things don't match up. So if you're the Patriots and you're looking to draft a quarterback this year in the 7th round, take a guy with arm talent. Last year, you took a guy in Danny Etling who didn't have a ton of arm talent, but he had a high football IQ, and he can move a little bit inside the pocket. Ta'amu gives you more of a cannon arm kind of quarterback that can really, he's more of a pocket guy, but it would be your Patrick Mahomes practice squad kind of quarterback that you could bring in and just chuck the ball 80 yards and try to see if you can defend it. But good 7th round pick. be a good investment. Brian Hoyer is not that good of a backup. Maybe Ta'amu can do a little bit better and push the whole unit. Let's go to one of our last picks here. 2 picks left for the Patriots. Cashman's still on the board, as is Davis, as is Will Harris, and that is who I'm actually going to pick. I don't think Will Harris is going to end up being that good of a player in the NFL, but the Patriots love drafting college safeties and turning them into special team stars. They've done it multiple times over the past couple of years. Right now, the feather in the cap has been Brandon King for the Patriots. Brought him in as an undrafted free agent safety, and he's done great things for them on special teams. Will Harris as well, with his 6'3", almost 190 frame, can also help cover some tight ends as needed. He will be a much better version of Jordan Richards and will actually end up, being drafted where he should end up going. Let's get to our last pick here. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is who you think it is on the board there at 252. It is Bryce Love, the running back from Stanford. I don't know if he's going to be on the board at this time for the Patriots. I don't know if he's going to even be on the board for any team at this point of the draft. But he was on the board for me. And if you're telling me I can draft Bryce Love at pick 252, regardless of what injuries he's dealing with, I'm going to take that every single day of the week. Because what would it do? It would put a ton of pressure on one of my least favorite players on the Patriots roster, Rex Burkhead. I know he was great in the second half of the AFC Championship game, and he was pretty good in the Super Bowl. Get him off my team and replace him with Bryce Love if you have the opportunity. He'd be a great 1-2 combo with Sony Michel. He can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield, like 20 catches for about 100 yards last year for Stanford. He can catch the ball a little bit, but mostly he'd be your change of pace back with Sony Michel. He's a good player. Don't forget what he did back in 2017. 2,100 yards, 19 touchdowns, averaged 8.1 yards per carry. I don't know if that player is still in there for Bryce Love, but I'll tell you one thing. If he's on the board at pick 252, I think the Patriots might end up investing in another running back. Before we go, I'm going to know from you guys, what position do the Patriots need to draft the most? Is it tight end? Is it defensive line? Is it offensive line? Is it wide receiver? Let me know in the comment section below where you guys think the Patriots need to address the most. One last thing before we leave. Let's go over my draft. TJ Hockenson, KELVIN Harmon, Dexter Lawrence, Christian Miller as your first 4 picks. Then David Sills, Bobby Okereke, Isaac Nauta, and then Zach Bailey. And then into the 7th round, Drew Tranquil, Jordan Ta'amu, Will Harris, and Bryce Love.